I mean, now looking back at, your history, because obviously there was quite a bit of hardship there, and you having to graft on your own to make your own life. Do you think that shaped you to follow a particular direction? Like, I mean, if you had things, much better, your father around, maybe no money issues, do you think you would have gone in a different direction and probably not be where you are now? What's your thoughts around
Well,
the impact of the hardship?
it's a very good question. I mean, the best parallel I have is a friend of mine who we were in school together, and his father was on a boat working on a ship, and they had money, and he used to come to school with the best watch, best shoes, well dressed, had extra money. Even in secondary school, he even had a car. But later on in life, he became an alcoholic. He became no one. And if I look back at other people who have abundance, I mean, I remember I used to, one person in my school, a lot of people who had money, I used to teach them, even at school.
Yeah.
I was the one who will go the extra mile to understand the subjects, right? And then they just, I don't know, I wouldn't call them like they have a different brain, but maybe they didn't want to learn as much as I wanted to learn. And what I would say is that because I knew where I came from, I knew I had to put in extra hours.
Yeah.
The thing that's very common about me that I don't often speak of is called burning the midnight oil. I spent many hours, even up until recently, where sometimes I will go through the whole night and I don't sleep.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm studying. Like most recently, because I'm building a funnel, or I'm building something, or I'm working on something that I will not, as Eric Thomas said, you sleep when the work is done, not when you're tired.
That's a great one.
Yeah, so too many people get tired and they stop. You don't stop when you're tired. You stop when the work is done.
The work is done. Yeah. That's a particular kind of mindset, isn't it? That's a particular kind of mindset, and obviously for you, you're highly driven, highly inspired, highly motivated, but not everyone is that. Is that building a character? I think probably for you, just like you mentioned, you didn't have a plan B. It had to be plan A, which is, go and achieve as much as you can. Maybe some other people who are more privileged had a plan B. Even if they don't do well at school, they could fall back on the parents or someone. But there wasn't that for you. So it's sort of from an early age, you got built into that kind of person, isn't it?
I like what you said, right? And I believe that the times when I did my very best is when I did not have a plan B.
Yeah.
And whenever you think of plan B, you don't do as well. Like whenever you do something to say, I'm just trying this out to see if it's going to work, oftentimes it doesn't work. Or it doesn't work as fast as you can. For example, when I came to the UK to study, I took a loan of £10,000 to come and study my accountancy exams. There was no way on earth I was not going to pass all the exams in record timing.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people who took many years to do the ACCA exams. My objective was to do that as fast as I can. And I'd completed all my exams in 2.5 years. And maybe for yourself, it's actually 14 exams.
Yeah.
I mean, I even passed a couple back home on my own with no teacher.
Wow.
And there was no plan B. There is no plan B, And but as you get older, I think you get a bit more risk of. I think your risk appetite lessens.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because I don't know what is your take on that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you become more because you've had so many experiences. You've experienced a lot of things. You've seen, people do well, people fail, and you get more grounded. Probably the things that were important back in the days are not as important, and you've got you find new objectives and new things, because as human beings we are always evolving, isn't it? You find new passions and new things that are challenging, because we yearn for that constant and continuous stimulation. So if something that is happening, it's no longer stimulating us, we will move towards what is new and what is exciting. Like now, there seems to be a sort of a progression of your journey. Now you've achieved certain things of study, SCCA, and your businesses, your property. Now, from a self-actualization point of view, you're finding benefit in sharing that information and knowledge with others, so you can see others, come up and help. And that contribution to others gives you a sense of, being and happiness, and, you're contributing something to the world, which, tends to happen towards the latter part of having achieved certain things. It's almost like, Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yeah. I know what you speak about.
Yeah.
But I was talking about something even, and I agree with what you said. I agree with what you said completely. I was breaking it down a bit more basic. As a child, when you are running, when you are learning to walk or learning to run, the child is going to fall. Most likely he's going to fall. But even after he falls a few times, he knows he might fall again, but he still runs.
He still runs, yeah.
As an adult, if you think you're going to fall, you wouldn't run.
You want to run.
But oftentimes, I would say, and I've listened to a few motivational speakers, oftentimes I would say failure is a fuel for success. Yeah. I would say many people who have not been successful, I probably say they haven't run until they fall.
Yeah.
Or they haven't tried enough until they fail. Maybe they tried and it goes, that's too hard. It's the same concept of don't stop working when you're tired. I think to be successful, you have to push yourself so hard until you fail. Until you fail a couple of times, and then you say, right, now I've learned something here. Let me go ahead. I say people need something called the Dyson spirit. Maybe you know Dyson, the Hoover?
Yes, yeah.
Did you know the story?
What's the story?
I mean, how many attempts did he have before he made the Hoover?
Oh, loads of attempts. Just like Edison, isn't it? And his 10,000 attempts at the light bulb.
Yeah, or even Tesla, who put 1.5 billion into Bitcoin a couple of days ago.
Yes.
When he started off with Tesla, people, he didn't make money for years.
Yeah.
What's this guy? Electric car? What's this concept? What's this? Is it making sense? You know what I mean? So I think a lot of people, they try something, and I've seen it in real life. I've got friends who, I remember one friend of mine, when I came to the UK and I was doing my ACCA exams, he came to do an ACCA exam, and he left halfway off the exam. He left halfway. He left during the exam. He goes, this is too hard.
Big mistake, eh?
Big mistake. It's better to fail the exam and then say, I want to pass this.
Yeah.
I want to pass this, and then you study hard and you go again. So I think for the people who are not motivated, going back to that question, right? I would say the biggest, and obviously I've got a blueprint. So I've got something called the Profitable Business Blueprint that I help people to make more money, to manage money better, and to multiply the money, right? So what I actually start off with people's mindset. My first module is called the Real Reason Roadmap. What is the real reason why you want money?
Yeah.
I think people need to start with the question, why?
Why?
Why do you want more money?
Yeah.
If you had £1 million, what would you do with it?
Mm-hmm.
And we often know of people who won the lottery and they lost it all.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have a why for the money. They didn't have a reason for wealth. So I think the bigger your why, the bigger your drive.
Your drive. Mm-hmm.
So people who are not motivated and they might be listening to this, I think the first thing you have to write down is that, why do I want a better life?
Yeah.
But don't just stop at the first why. I have this little tool called 7 levels deep.
Mm-hmm.
When you get the answer to the first why, I want money because I want to be rich. I can set the question, why do I want to be rich?
Yeah.
I want to be rich so I can have a good lifestyle. Why do you want to have a good lifestyle?
Yeah.
Keep asking why 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
Write it down, and at the 7th one, that's the real why. And that's what's going to motivate you. So for me, it's around gratitude.
Yeah.
It's around giving back. It's around legacy.
Yeah. So just taking you back to where we talk about failure and learning from failure. So where does the balance lie between, working hard at something and failing, or working smarter by learning from other people's mistakes so you don't make them? Because there is a number of different thoughts, isn't it? They say if you're smarter, you can leverage. It's all about leveraging other people's mistakes.
I like that. I mean, and you are right. And even in my own podcast, even in my own webinar, which I've just re-recorded recently, I put working hard is important.
Yeah.
But it's better to work smarter than to work harder.
Yeah.
So number one, there is no substitute for hard work.
Yeah.
Working smarter is not a substitute for hard work. It's probably a supplement. It probably supplements hard work.
Yeah.
And what you're talking about there is something that I listen to a lot of motivational speakers. I've listened to a lot of people. I've studied a lot of people. Tony Robbins called it modeling success. Don't try to recreate success. Look at someone who's already successful and model what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I'm a big advocate of, yes, working smarter. But I don't want people to think that working smarter means not working hard. I would say work hard the smart way.
The smart way. Wow. That's a great title for this episode. I have to write it down. Work hard the smart way.
Yeah, work hard the smart way, Because what does that mean? What does working hard the smart way means? It means that your hard work must give you some rewards.
Yeah.
And those rewards, like for example, I told you about my earlier story. If you listen to my earlier story, when I worked hard in the farm and I made the money, I went to the market, I sold the produce. Even if I didn't sell all the produce, I will exchange produce with the farmers. So some people had farine, some people had fish. Yeah. And it's called barter in the old process. It still works, right? So eventually I will come home with money and a whole heap of stuff. The money I had, I then took that money, I put it into property. Today, that same property today that I have my mom develop, she's got tenants living in the property. The same property that I built. I call that you're working hard to work smart. So now my mom doesn't have to work as hard because my hard work went into properties, means that money is now making money.
Wow, it's now working hard. And that brings us perfectly into this financial intelligence.
Financial intelligence. That brings us into which is what I'm a big advocate of, actually, financial intelligence. Yeah,
absolutely. When you talk about our business strategy and financial intelligence, even the small business owners, the importance of understanding even the basics of financial intelligence is key. Talk us through that. Financial.
But obviously, thank you for that. And obviously, I also have a podcast out as well myself called Financial Intelligence Mindset. And financial intelligence, at the heart of it, is about people understand the numbers behind the business. And a number of people goes, I don't need to understand the numbers behind my business because I have an accountant. I think that's so wrong. The best quote I have is from a guy who I follow, and I'm dropping a lot of names here today because I used to talk about model success, right? So this guy's called Keith Cunningham. He's a white guy. He's in America. He's also an accountant who helps business owners. So I model him because he's much older than me. He's lost 100 million and he made it back. And what he says, right? He says financial statements are your scorecard. Like any game, is your scorecard. But he says if you cannot read the scorecard, then you don't know the score. And if you don't know the score, then you don't know if you're winning or losing. So I will say at a very basic level, business owners need to know the profitability on their products, not just at the end of the year, but every month, every week, every product they sell, they need to know what is the break-even point. How much profit have I made on a particular product? What's my margin? If I reduce my price by X amount, how does that impact my margin? And therefore my contribution to the bottom line. I mean, this is some very technical stuff. But financial intelligence is about managing your business a smart way, managing money smartly. And at the heart of it, what I teach people is to say, look, when you in a business, people say, okay, I want to have profit. So for me, as a business owner, you must understand the numbers behind your business, right? The big thing, I talk about profit. People say, I want more profit. And what I actually say is that profit is value creation. Profit is a reward for creating value. The more value you create, the more value you give, the more profit you have. But the real financial intelligence is say, don't run your business for profit. Run your business for free cash flow. Free cash flow. What is free cash flow? Free cash flow is all the money that's left over after paying all expenses and buying all assets. Is money available to reinvest back into the business? Or even to reinvest in assets or reinvest in someone else's business. So what I say is that when you have a business, you want to get to a point whereby you're making enough money to run the business, but then you have money to make that money make money. Does that make sense? I mean, all the big companies do it, right? Take Amazon, right? Amazon pay very little taxes because they have huge R&D departments, research and development departments, and R&D. These big companies get tax credits for R&D. But they also pump money into R&D. They're always researching stuff. They're always researching, artificial intelligence, how to use data more smartly, So they're making money, but they're pumping the money back into the business, like all this cloud stuff, etc. Many small business owners, I think they lack the financial intelligence. And I want to go as basic as this, right? They don't understand the difference between an asset and a liability. So they start making money, and instead of buying more assets, which gives them more income, they extract the money and they buy luxury items, shiny objects, which are liabilities, which takes away money from them. So that's just a nutshell of I'm really passionate about the subject, and for me, financial intelligence means to be smarter with your money, making your money make money, but most importantly, understand the numbers behind your business. Do you really understand your ratios? So for example, let me give you a quick example. If a business is growing year on year, and is hiring people. You can do a simple ratio, say something called your employee contribution ratio. Yeah, by taking the sales, dividing it by the employees to really work out if by hiring more people that is helping your sales. Because oftentimes people goes, oh, I need a bigger team, but is that bigger team helping you to make more money? And the answer is, if it's not going to help you make more money, then you obviously don't need a bigger team. So it's just helping you to make more informed decisions.
Yeah.
Based on analysis.
Analysis, yeah.